Hey everyone, so here's the trade recap for 15 December, the trade that I took during the London Open. The original idea for the shorts came from the fact that the 4 hour was actually making lower highs all the way down, and then once it broke through this strong zone at 138,500, it broke down and then came back to retest. So I knew that it was trying to retest this previous 4 hour support. So when this candle actually closed bearish, I was still short buyers waiting for price to actually continue lower to fill this gap over here. So that's where the short buyers idea originated from. So when I came to the London Open, I saw that there was a consolidation happening and price was also respecting this previous 4 hour resistance at 138,900. So I then waited for this support, which was the previous 1 hour support, to be broken here. This resistance turn support on the 1 hour to be broken on the 30-minute. So when this candle closed below all these supports, I took the short with my stop loss above this most recent resistance. So I misread this zone to be just a 30-minute minor support, but actually when I went on to the 1 hour, I saw that the same zone also existed. So this zone should have been I should have instead taken more profits at this area instead of at the 138,500 level. But since I missed this, what I could have done better on the trade was, instead of pushing my stop loss to break even so quickly, since I also saw that the 1 hour had after that closed below its own support with a much stronger candle and more solid confirmations, I could have just left the stop loss as it was, as I was already anticipating this pullback to happen to the previous resistance made on the 30-minute. As long as price closed, as long as price did not break above the previous 30-minute highs over here, price should technically continue lower. So I think because I was a bit flustered when I messed up this, misread this support, then I pushed my stop loss too quickly and I ended up micromanaging the trade, and then I missed out on these profits because on the 4 hour, it was so clean coming down. It was just one big giant candle coming down, so it was quite a high probability that this 138,500 level would actually be met. So this was how I could have done better on this 30-minute London Open trade. Right, so this was the second trade that I took during New York Open. So basically, what I do on a daily basis is I like to trade during the times where there's the most volume. So New York Open, London Open, these two have actually shown highest profitability for me, and my trades move a lot easier because I have the volume behind me to carry my trade down. So this was my New York Open trade on the 15th of December. So after I saw that price did a pullback and then stopped at this previous 4 hour resistance that was made from London, closing strong bearish after a heavy rejection here, I then waited for price to actually break through this consolidation area and to close back below its next 4 hour resistance. So when this candle did just that with the New York Open volume, I knew that this resistance should hold. If not, then price would then come back into this range and get stuck inside here. So as long as that resistance held, this one here, after price actually made lower highs, I should then be able to come down to this most recent resistance on the 15-minute as my TP1. So because it was already quite late after New York had opened, it was around 15 to 20 minutes after New York Open, I decided that the way GJ was going this week to go for a quick profit. So I took out 80% at this previous resistance and then I left my stop loss in profit. So thereafter, the trade actually bounced off and then hit my trade at break even. And then hit my trade in profit over here. So this was a quick trade, move for about 12 pips. So that was a quick grab done during the New York Open volume. Given that there's lower volume now in December, I decided to go for just quick grabs instead of going to the 4 hour zone because I've realized that GJ hasn't really been able to do that quick clean move down. So don't have to be greedy, as profits are still profits. Right, so this one is the last the last idea. So the idea came as a swing idea because I saw that the previous day on the 14th during New York session, this resistance was formed based off this support that was held on the 4-hour zone. So when this candle actually closed bearish after rejecting this 4-hour zone, I took the short from this candle after it flipped bearish, I took the short after this candle made a top wick and flipped bearish, breaking this wick. So I took off 80% at this area. It took a while, like, because this TP area here missed by just 1 to 2 pips because of spread, and then it then came back and consolidated the next day, all through till the next day's London Open, where it pushed down and finally hit my TP1 here. So right after that, it did a strong retracement back to my entry price, and then it stopped me out at break even. So overall, this position was closed with a small profit instead of going for the bigger targets. So because it was a swing idea, I was willing to give the trade a bit more time, and I also entered with a smaller lot size because, as you can see, the TP areas would have been this 4-hour support here at 138,400. The next one would have been 137,600, and then finally the daily support at 136. So given that the targets are so big, I sized down, and I also gave it a lot more time and didn't really micromanage the trade in terms of in this range here when it was really messy on the 1 hour. Right, so I hope these 3 recaps have been helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, then I'll see you guys on the stream.